After months of anticipation, we have finally received some massive news from Techland about the upcoming DLC for Dying Light 2. Wait. Standalone game! That's right, DLC 2 got so big that Techland turned it into its own title, Dying Light the Beast. And to start off, I just want to say that I believe this is the best thing that Techland could have done for themselves and the Dying Light community. Let's get into it. It is quite an exciting time to be a fan of the Dying Light franchise because what was shown during the trailer absolutely shocked me, and I'm sure you've all seen by now, we are getting to see a continuation of Kyle Crane's story and what he's been up to for the past 10 years since we last saw him in Dying Light 1. However, and there's always the however, it is not all good news because we have to ask ourselves, what happened to DLC 2? Is Dying Light 2 completely dead now that the Beast is going to be coming? The answer to that is honestly quite simple in my opinion. Beyond the corporate talk from Techland, it does seem to be kinda dead. And at the time of making this video, there have been some interviews going around where Timon Smektala, the franchise director, has mentioned that there will be the promised 5 years of development still happening for Dying Light 2, which is nice to hear that confirmation coming from him, but to the extent of which the content is developed is still questionable. We still have the tower raid on the horizon, so we have that to look forward to if you were interested in any of the previous betas, but from this point on, it is pretty apparent there are no future story DLCs that will be added to Dying Light 2. And I just have to say, and I think all of you will probably agree, Dying Light 2 proved to be such a challenge for Techland after its botched release. There is just too much that would need to go into fixing this game. I think it makes total sense for them to have just created this standalone title so they can fully develop it with a clear vision from the start. And one of the reasons I believe this is going to be a much clearer vision from the start is because there are no longer going to be branching storylines that are overly complicated, which ultimately led to the convoluted, lackluster story that left many of us wishing we didn't even waste our time on that in Dying Light 2. To remedy this, Dying Light the Beast is returning to a more linear, traditional story which is tightly crafted in an effort to ensure a consistent and quality experience when playing through the estimated 18 to 20 hour story. Let's go, Techland. That's what I like to hear. This is awesome. Furthering this point, Timon Smektala in an interview also stated that every bit of this game is human crafted, so there are no more AI generated weird garbage things going on in this game. That is another thing that I love to hear. Thank you, Timon, and thank you, Techland, for actually putting human effort and human minds into this game. Thank you. With that said, hopefully we won't be seeing as many copied and pasted areas like we did in the previous game. Not only that, I'm making an assumption here. I believe we'll likely have more interactive parkour and better environmental storytelling since there is going to be a lot less that Techland needs to work with in Castor Woods. Now at this point, I would like to touch on what we saw in the trailer combat-wise, because first thing I noticed is there was a lot of gunplay. This honestly came a bit strange to me because of what they wanted to originally do in Dying Light 2, phasing out firearms completely. I am not mad about this by any means. I always enjoyed using firearms in Dying Light 1, so I'm happy to see a better integrated return of this kind of weapon. I'm curious to hear what you guys all think about this. As you're scrolling down to the comments, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Melee combat-wise in the trailer, it looked very reminiscent of Dying Light 2, which makes total sense because it was originally meant to be a DLC, and it is built off the foundation of the engine and pretty much most of the gameplay mechanics that were built into Dying Light 2. Some of you might be concerned hearing this because we want to feel like we're playing as Kyle Crane, not like we're playing as Aiden. We want to feel that the characters are actually different. This has been addressed. We're going to get new animations playing as Kyle Crane, and this is going to be evolved from the first game, obviously, because now he has that extra bit of power as the Beast. So that was also really nice to hear. I am curious how his parkour is going to look though. What we currently know about the Beast is enough to get excited, but not quite enough to gauge what to truly expect from this game. There was a 40-minute showcase of gameplay that was privately shown at Gamescom, and there are description of what was shown, which I will link in the description right next to a link to join my Discord. Unfortunately, there is no public gameplay yet, which honestly I'm happy with because it's probably too early to really know what to expect. Despite being built on the same engine as Dying Light 2, where many of us had some complaints graphically and immersion-wise, we're going to be getting those necessary upgrades with the lighting and some weather effects, and hopefully to that flashlight. There's more detail about this in an interview with Timon, which I will also link below. So far, I'm really happy with what has been said about this game. I haven't heard anything that really turned me off. What I am wanting Timon, or just simply the game, to present is better physics, as that is what made most of us hooked to the gameplay in the first game. Obviously the parkour, but it just felt so good interacting with those zombies, something that is severely lacking in Dying Light 2. So I hope they are working on the physics, because that's going to make a huge difference to the gameplay and would probably make playing as the Beast super fun. There isn't a ton of news to cover because Techland is being very hush-hush about all of the information that is going on in the Beast. So if you guys want to speculate or talk about this game, please tell me everything that you think about it in the comments. And if you want to discuss things more with me, subscribe. And again, the link to my Discord is in the description, so go ahead and join that. I'm always in there. That's pretty much it for me today. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next video.